Well, hi there. I'm Diana Montford, the world's first transgender television journalist. Born male, became female. You know the drill. Fashion, don't you love it? Everyone loves it. And who does fashion better than gay people? That would be us. And some of you out there. We are going to talk about the wonderful fashion line created by Jules. Yeah. Do I use your last name?
You can.
Jules Williams.
Julius Williams. That's Julius. My government name.
Okay.
But Jules is something that's automatically.
And Darnell Thomas, who isn't part of your fashion line, but is a good friend of yours.
Exactly.
And they both do this amazing talk show called On the Edge, which is hilarious. I can't recommend it enough. It is so funny, and it is so real. It's just the way we all talk with one another, but, you know, on television and on YouTube and everything.
Exactly.
Show us your T-shirt so we know what it is. Yes, Fats. Yes, Femmes.
Yes, Fats. Yes, Femmes. Get with one. One or the other.
Yes.
And both.
And you have a what kind of T-shirt?
This is a T-shirt called On Edge Talk. It really supposed to be On Edge Talk Show or just On Edge. But the person who did this didn't do it the way it's supposed to be done.
I'm sure she'll
So we're correcting it, and we actually going to do a T-shirt line for On Edge.
Well, and you designed this wonderful jacket.
Yes, I designed this camouflage with the leather fringes. You know, fringes been pretty big this season, but I did this maybe a year or two ago. My clothing line is called Jules Eyes. Jules Eyes Fashion. A line that the name I came up maybe years ago when I was actually in college. And I did that because of a project that I did in school. So we had to come up with a business, and we had to come up with a name for your business. You majored
in fashion merchandising.
Yes, I'm actually fashion marketing.
Right.
So that's more of the advertising side of it. And then I came with my own fashion line when I moved to New York City. And I moved to New York in like 97. So, and I started doing fashion shows, producing fashion shows, and work with models. And then I decided to do some detail into a pair of jeans that I had, and somebody liked it, asked me to do their jeans, and then the ball started rolling from there. Did I say ball? Yes, we like balls.
We like balls.
On mine, yes. So the ball started rolling, and that's when I started getting into using rhinestones and old T-shirts and cutting them up, making fringes, knots, and then I started doing my own line. I do a lot of custom-made pieces. I do a lot of stuff for men and women, but mostly women.
And how can people contact you?
People can contact me by going to juleseyes.com or juleseyes@aol.com.
Jules Eyes, like
that's my website.
Can you spell it?
JULESEYES.com is my website. Or you can go on Instagram and follow me on Jules Eyes Fashion. That is my fashion Instagram page. If you want to follow me personally, it's Jules Eyes.
Yeah. See how his balls is rolling.
Yeah, they're rolling fabulous.
Okay. How can people contact you?
On Instagram, we have On Edge Talk Show Instagram. And on mine, if you want to see all the craziness I do, it's Insta Edge on Instagram. INSTAEDGE.
And you're also into fashion, obviously.
Yes, I am into fashion. Also, I want to say I'm a fashion maverick, right? I work for 3 high-end department stores in New York City since I got into retail. And I'm a seller. I love the business of retail. I love dealing with customers and just changing people's lives by knowing a little bit about fashion.
Before we went on, you told me how much you made in 1 month. We probably shouldn't say it. It is an awesome, awesome, awesome amount. Like a lot of people's yearly income, Darnell made in 1 month.
Now, I wish in general that was my money. And the one thing that you get a percentage of it.
Commission.
But what I learned is I have a love for pre-owned stuff. I have a a stock of pre-owned stuff in my house.
Oh, that's great.
I have clothes in my house, dresses in my house, jeans in my house that I've collected. I had for a while. And to see people have a love for pre-owned bags, not only because they're Louis Vuitton.
But it's a market for it.
Yeah,
anyway.
it's a market for it. And now that I see what I can do with that, I'm going to really like push my own stuff out. Yeah.
Although pre-owned Louis Vuitton or Hermès, this is expensive stuff, even pre-owned.
I have an Hermès bag in my shop that is $26,000.
Is that pre-owned?
Yeah.
$6,000. So you can imagine what they paid for it. They probably paid double or triple if it's $26,000.
Yeah, because it's $26,000 now.
They should have spent some money on a shrink.
They should have. No, but you know, people.
Well, people has money like that to just. I'm not going to say burn, but they just have that kind of money where $26,000 is a lot to us. It may be like $6 to them.
Right, because I mean, you know, a lot of people who spending that money, that kind of thing, too, come from old money.
Old money, yes.
Old money, you know. And then a lot of them have. It's an investment that you can turn around and always make your. You can always turn around and make your money back. Another thing we have in the shop is a $20,000 Louis Vuitton trunk.
Well, a trunk is different.
Yeah.
I mean, but a bag like $26,000.
Well, Birkins are $25,000.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, from $12,000 to $25,000 is what I'm learning. The one that we have, I think we paid $12,000 for it, or that's the price of it. But we're looking for $16,000.
Now, if a Birkin, let's say, is made in, say, emerald green ostrich skin, is it that much more or less valuable because it's unique?
I would say it's more.
There would be more
Because of the color. Right. The skin and the color, yeah. But people love, like, you know, I know throughout my whole life seeing Louis Vuitton bags and Louis Vuitton stuff, and you know, knowing Louis Vuitton.
Being sold on the
no,
street,
not like that. But yeah, I mean, in the mixture, in the black community, it's a mixture. But
no, it's a mixture in the white community as well.
Yes, because a lot of people come from Utah and Minnesota and Missouri and go right to Canal Street
and as well.
Yes.
But they think it's real sometimes, you know.
Well, you know
look,
what?
a Prada bag for $40. Jeez.
But you know what? They're making these things now where you really can't tell the difference.
That's because they're made in the same factories, you know?
Exactly.
By the same people.
And what the difference is, the original companies have serial numbers.
Yeah.
So that what makes it
But who
authentic.
cares? Unless you're planning to roll
Right.
it over and resell it.
And the reason
it
I
doesn't
know
matter.
that because recently I have been selling some jewelry that's been designed by a big designer. And the people that was interested and that already have the authentic pieces, they couldn't believe that it looked that much
Did
real.
they also buy the new ones?
And they bought the ones that's not authentic.
Are they real jewelry but not really by that designer, or are they fake jewelry not by that designer? In other words, are they rhinestones?
They're copied from that designer, but it's real.
Oh, I see what you mean. So it's like
But
really good jewelry, but purporting to be from a designer, but not from the designer.
Exactly.
But still pretty.
But it has the weight and everything to it.
Yeah.
And like I sold the bracelet to one girl. She said, "Oh my God!" And she was just at the video on. And she said, "I can't believe I'm not paying this kind of money no more." I was like,
No, I'll tell you. All my life, I've wanted like a Kelly bag or a Birkin. I don't have a hope in hell of ever coming up with that kind of cash.
only if you find one of those politic guys. Or
No,
something.
I wouldn't do. I'll tell you something. With all the poor trans people I know, I would die before I would spend that kind of money on that.
Right.
When I could like feed like every trans woman in New York on that money. Come on, you know.
Now I have a
It's
good,
what you said. They have to be old money.
Yeah, I have a good associate now that actually is buying those Hermes bags, and they are authentic, and he's reselling them, and he's making a pretty coin. He's making a pretty
Because
coin
they
from it.
go up in value.
Yeah, and he's like he buys for like you said, $12,000. He's selling
Yeah.
for $16,000.
Yeah, because the markup on them, Birkins every year go up in price.
Yeah, and so does Chanel bags.
Yeah, so the more the age, you know, it gets better. Like wine,
Sure.
it gets
Yeah.
better with time.
If you
that
have
kind
an
of thing.
original Chanel bag from 1962, the original quilted bag, I mean, name your price. And it's in
Right.
mint condition, I mean, forget it,
Right.
you know?
And a lot of the stuff that we have, everything is not in perfect condition. I want to say since I've been working there, I've seen stuff because we're not only just getting stuff from people coming to appraise it
Right.
or bringing it. We get it from estate sales,
Sure.
trunk shows, photo shoots, runways. You know, a lot of the stuff is touched like one time. Like the shipment that we just got, and you know, the stuff is vintage because Louis Vuitton stopped making certain
Sure,
styles.
when they deliberately choose
Right,
to
they stopped
have
making
limited
certain
edition
styles.
bags.
Right.
Like the Marc Jacobs with all the funny little
Right,
marks on
like
it
that
years
kind of
ago.
stuff. You know, that probably has a certain value to it because you can't get it anymore.
Exactly.
And I had a lady come to
Or
me.
the baguette bag,
Yeah.
which was the it bag 20 years ago.
Fendi.
Or like the artsy or the epi leather Noes and Petites and Almas and all that kind of stuff. I had a lady come to me who was from California, young black lady, you know, very sassy, very like Tina Knowles, like
Speed it up.
Beyonce mother kind of thing.
You got it.
Comment. And she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy this because this is something I missed when I was younger. I didn't get to buy this,
Yeah,
so that's why she bought it. Then she bought it from me, and she was saying, "Oh, I used to work at Louis Vuitton. It's just one of the bags that I didn't get to get." And you know, people just have a love for it. She actually taught me how to use the bag that she was buying because I didn't know how to sell it to people. She showed me. She was like, "It's really a book bag." And then she was like, it's a side bag too. So, and then, you know, from what I know of the bag is a lot of the stuff they used to use for like wine carriers.
Right.
Like the bags was to
Well,
carry
they
wine and
originally,
stuff.
yeah, like from
Right.
1890, and then in the 30s they transitioned into handbags.
Yeah.
or something.
They were like to carry wine. You know, they were just like a luggage.
But a lot of those bags are made by hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Sewn by
well,
hand.
Hermès, I mean,
Hermès, yeah.
they like 12 pieces and all hand sewn by the same person. And it has the serial number.
Right.
And you can have it repaired, if you're lucky, by the same person if he's still alive or she is. You know.
Louis Vuitton, you know, the one question that is getting on my nerves at the new job, though, is it's just the dumbest question in the world to me.
What?
Are these real? Are these fake? You know,
Sure, we're charging
Well,
you
you know what, you-
$26,000.
right, no, but I'm sitting
We
here
bought
saying
it
you're
on
in
Canal
a
Street this
department
morning.
store.
But you probably have to think about it, the fact that because it's Century 21, it's in that area and it's always been a discounted store.
Yes,
Even
but-
though they always sold high-end merchandise, but I guess that's a really high,
But sometimes-
20,000, 22,
Sometimes designers design things deliberately for Century 21 or other
Right.
discount stores.
Yeah,
which
but
are
no,
not sold in-
we're-
But I think it's so funny now because if you notice, Gucci is also deliberately
making fake
fake
stuff.
Fake. It's real, but they're making it look fake. Like the Gucci's with a instead of I, it's a Y.
Right, yeah.
Or they got this
You have to
bag
have real
is
money
this
to buy
bag
that
real?
because if you have, it's like those torn up designer coats from like 20 years ago
Mm-hmm.
that looked like rags you found in the garbage, and they cost a fortune. Like this, you could buy a small house in Queens for what one of those coats cost, and women looked like derelicts in them. But then they'd get into their limousines and go from Bergdorf's to wherever.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's reverse snobbery, you know.
Yeah.
If it looks like some cheap piece of crap you bought on Canal Street, and you know a society woman is carrying it, it ain't no cheap piece of crap.
Right.
A lot of people, and it's just funny. Like this man came and dropped $4,500 on this little Louis Vuitton like square clutch kind of thing. It wasn't
For
even
himself or for his
for
girlfriend?
his girlfriend, and I didn't know that he came in there with her like maybe 2 days before, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, she wanted it." And he came back and he bought it for her.
Oh, nice.
But it was $4,600, and I was sitting there, kept saying to myself, like, now I have to stop putting this cloud over my sales in business, like. This shit is not going to sell. Who's going to buy this for $4,600? Because
People
the
do.
window is there. They do, you know.
Yeah.
And when you put that into the universe, you kind of block yourself from making
Exactly,
that sale.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've talked
people
to
really do buy
yeah, I
it.
talked to 2 potential clients to buy the $16,000 Birkin bag, and she was really gun ho on it. She was just like, "How am I going to get it to
Let me
Japan?"
ask you, where does all this money? How do you make all this money that you can afford to buy a $40,000 clutch bag?
I mean, it'd be business women with no kids, stuff like that.
They own businesses.
Yeah.
Their husbands own businesses. Their fathers.
Right, their
People
grandfather
are,
had
making,
money.
people are making money all kinds of ways. That's why I learned that in New York City you have to have
Multiple incomes.
multiple streams of income. You have to. Like you were saying that you need to stop putting the cloud over your head. And I learned when I still live in Atlanta and I worked in Phipps Plaza Mall, you did not enter that mall unless you had money. So I knew when you came through those doors, you had money. and you dress a certain way.
Didn't people just come in just to look sometimes? Though?
Sometimes they did, but they was dressed the part. Then when I moved to New York City and I worked downtown,
Yeah, they look like derelicts. It's
everybody
crazy.
was dressed, and I'm like, this person ain't got no money. Look what he got on. And turn around, he buys 6 pairs of shoes, and I'm like, damn, that could have been my sale. But I looked past him because he wasn't dressed the part, and I learned that. I had to learn very quickly.
Don't judge a book
you
by its
can't
cover.
judge a book by its
Not
cover.
in New York or
not
LA.
in New York City.
In LA, they look half naked for God's
But see,
sake.
Bobby been coming to New York, learning the ropes, fresh starting, moved here, not knowing.
But that must be very difficult, given that you have a fashion line. In the 80s, for example, people spent a lot of money on their clothes.
Mm-hmm.
They cared about their clothes, their hair, their makeup, their everything. Now it's the fashion to look as though you just rolled out of bed in a homeless shelter. Nothing wrong with homeless shelters, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, and like the jeans cost like $7,000, and they look like rags.
14,000.
Yeah, I mean, this is
500,
crazy.
300.
Yeah, and I mean, so what do you do when you design beautiful stuff
Mm-hmm.
and nobody wants it because they want stuff that looks like crap?
Well, you know what? Glad you said that. People are not shopping like they used to in stores. People are going online to buy stuff. Mm-hmm. Not only that, if they want something specific, they're coming to designers like myself, and they don't mind spending money because it's for them.
Right.
And they're getting it made.
Personal.
They get it made the way they want it to be made,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fitting them to their body type. Mm-hmm. So that's the difference as far as like people spending money, and even people, like you said, people buying crap or it looks crazy or whatever. People are actually getting stuff made like that. Like now it's the whole plaid thing, but it's like different types of plaid,
and
different colors, mismatched.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just did a camouflage pants for a young lady with sequins on one part, denim on the other part,
Sounds
leather
great,
straps,
actually, yeah.
and it just coincided, and then it works well. And people and everybody like, oh, I want those pants, I want the pants, but you have to have at least like $400-$500 if you want
sure.
that. People don't mind spending it because it was made for them.
Now, do you take people fabric shopping, or do you choose the fabric?
It depends on
who it
is.
is.
The person is. Now, I have one client that goes fabric shopping with every time, but we already know what we're looking for. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I go ahead of her and I pick out stuff because I don't like for a person to be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Because you'll look at you like, oh, I want this, I want that one.
Right, exactly.
And I have to like shut it down.
I want the
like,
peach satin, and I want the black velvet.
So I have to pretty much like just show you 3 pieces. Now, if you're a new client, I would get fabric swatches and only show you 3, even though I saw maybe like 10 that I like.
I know a wardrobe mistress who said, I only show the actors on the soap opera where she worked. I only show them like 3 ties.
Right.
Because if I show them 20, they can't pick.
Exactly. So that's why I only show 3, and they can concentrate on that. And that's what I will do. I show the least, the most like, in the middle. 9 times out of 10, they will go with the most
middle.
like.
Oh.
Or I mean, sometimes they go with the most like, or in the middle. But mostly, I do that, and that way they won't be confused.
What if someone comes to you and says, "This is what I want," and you know it's going to look awful on her or him, and do you try to steer them away from like?
I do, and you know what? I did that. This guy, we designed a shirt. The shirt was really, really nice, but the fabrication, and I told him, I said, "You picking silk. It's gonna make it look more feminine.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go with cotton." He's like, "No, I want it feminine. I'm not. I want it silk, because I'm going to a party and it's all green and they want that whole look." Lo and behold, the shirt came out beautiful. He tried it on. It looked too feminine, so he didn't want it.
Well, too bad. I mean, did he pay for it?
He gave me a deposit. Yeah, so. He lost the shirt and he lost his deposit.
So now, what do? You get the deposit first and then the balance when you present the garment?
Yeah. You always get a deposit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some designers would insist on the full price before, constructing the garment.
You can't handle the business that way.
But you get a deposit before you do anything, fabric shop, you get a deposit. But nobody's giving you full price money unless
they see the finished
unless
product.
you work with them a lot. I'm not giving you $500 of my money and you haven't seen anything.
Sure.
I will give you half.
No, yeah, half is the best idea.
Yeah, so I definitely take half, and then when the product is finished, you give me the other half.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah,
That's the ideal
But he
way.
didn't like it, and
So did you keep the shirt?
I kept the shirt. Yes, I kept the shirt, and I sold the shirt.
Good.
I kept the shirt and the deposit, and I sold the shirt to a young lady.
Now, let me ask you a question. What are the best-selling colors right now?
The best-selling colors right now would be red, burgundy.
I was gonna say burgundy.
Yeah, it's so in right now.
Yeah.
Burnt orange.
Yep.
As we should. Oh, that's
Orange.
always becoming to everyone.
Yeah.
I found, you know.
Camouflage is back again. Never
never
went
really
away.
leaves, yeah.
Leopard print.
Never leaves.
Right. But I think it's so funny that people listen to all these people that put these trends out. Me personally say, do what you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Express yourself how you want to express yourself, because that's what fashion is. Fashion is about expression. If you know fashion, then you know how to put it together, and that's when you have style.
Right, and
Everybody don't have style.
there's no value to it.
Right.
People put a value to it, but you can go to a thrift store, you can go into a high-end store,
Right.
and come out in the middle, and that's where your outfit
And
was.
that's what people are doing that. People are mixing, matching now. People are buying expensive shoes, expensive bags, and they're doing lower cost jackets.
But that's always been
shirts.
standard fashion advice. Put your money in the accessories.
Right.
Because those tell the story.
Exactly.
Whereas the clothes you can buy anywhere.
Exactly, and especially if you're into trends.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be spending your money on a lot of trends.
Because trends come and go.
Yeah. That's why it's called a trend.
Yeah, and then you spend your money on stuff that's going to be timeless and classic. That's
Right.
Yeah, but there
capsule.
are some trends. Okay, let's say this year the color is burgundy. That is sort of a classic color. So
It always been.
Burgundy
Yeah.
is all
Burgundy,
and-
gray,
Yeah,
black
cream.
certainly. Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's versatile.
Right.
And even burnt
And you can
orange
do a lot
is
with
pretty
it.
classic. You know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you can wear those colors all year round.
And
Yeah,
your
exactly.
patterns like your herringbone, your houndstooth,
Sure.
those are classic prints.
And even leopard is classic.
Yeah.
And camo.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, definitely. Camel, definitely.
And polka dots. always
Stripes.
classic.
Yeah.
Plaids usually. Often.
Stripes, yeah.
Plaids if you're the type.
Not horizontal.
Yeah.
No.
Everybody
God, no.
can't do stripes.
When I see horizontal in a magazine or in a store, I think, who is like 7 feet tall and weighs 2 pounds? Who's going to wear horizontal stripes?
Right.
Oh,
Makes you
I'm
look
never
shorter
going to
and
wear my
fatter.
horizontal shirt. I was going to wear that here tonight.
I tell him it makes you wider.
Yeah, never. If you love stripes, do vertical.
Vertical. It makes you longer.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people do not know how to dress to their body types to make them look slimmer, to make them look elongated.
Exactly. And that's the
Um,
ideal in fashion. A slim, elongated body, no matter how much you weigh or
Right.
what you look like.
Exactly. And if you don't have a waist, that's why you should put a belt on.
Yeah.
Especially women. Get a high waist. It makes you look longer, makes you look thin, it makes you look good.
Hides a pot belly,
Yeah.
hides pregnancy.
If you
hides
don't
everything.
have a neck, put on a V-neck.
Yes.
All of that good stuff.
And the design should always highlight the face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, unless you have like Betty Grable legs or something,
Mm-hmm.
it's always about drawing the eye up.
Upwards, yep. That's why one of my clients, she loves to have her cleavage out because it draws up, and
Sure.
she's on the heavy side. So now
Well,
she's
that's very smart.
so now she's a fashion diva, and her girlfriends will be like, "Okay, what you getting made?"
Well,
So-
she's making her womanliness her style as
Right.
opposed to mourning the
Hiding
fact that
it.
she's not Kate Moss.
Right.
Right. And she like her troubles will be her arms. So
Well, even just a bunchen gets plastic surgery, honey. So stop feeling that way, bitches.
Yeah. and I believe she has implants, Giselle Bundchen.
Mm-hmm.
She seems to. But anyway. Or maybe it's Tom Brady who has implants. I'm not sure.
Not Tom
One
Brady.
of them has them.
He has them too in his hand.
Yeah.
a lot of people's doing it. And I think it's so unsafe.
I also think it looks very strange to have a very thin woman with these huge things right out there,
Right.
like 2 big basketballs or
I-
watermelons.
They get that from the news lady bodies of the 70s.
I think
Oh,
a lot
yes.
of people are thinking about when they do these surgeries, they're thinking about now and not later.
Yeah, when they're down around your knees,
Right.
maybe.
And knowing they have
But
to
are
do
your
that.
implants going to be down around your knees?
No, because they're going to have to be taken out
Out.
because they're going to burst or something.
Right.
I know so many trans women. I do not have implants, by the way, as you can see. But anyway, they've had to have their implants taken out and often go without them forever because they had so many infections and implants bursting. Don't get implants.
Mhm.
I mean, the women of the 20s, the women of the 60s, the women of the 70s were
Mhm.
flat-chested. It looked great.
Right. They got bras now that make you look like you got chest.
Yes. Guys, you can push them up, push them together,
Mhm.
draw a dark stripe down the center, highlight here. you've got cleavage. So ladies, you don't have to get implants, you know?
It just
Sounds
so much
like a
you
plan.
do. Oh. Well, you don't need that. You're good.
Yeah, you have great tits. I'll say.
Yes, my tits
You're
are good.
You're good.
So now, if you, very quickly, is there one garment that people can wear most of the time, like the little black dress or something?
Yes, the little black dress is always that. I think also something that women or men can wear all the time would be a wide leg. I think a wide leg would never go out of
A
style.
what?
A
Wide
wide
leg
leg pant.
Wide leg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, because those thin pants, and I swear, when you see someone who's heavy wearing those stovepipe pants, those jeggings,
Skinny jeans.
It makes them look bigger.
And we won't even discuss Victoria's Secret with pink across a big fat ass. Not working, girls.
Yeah.
A look that I think is timeless. I say you always need a good blazer.
Yeah, definitely.
A wide leg and a blazer together shapes you out.
Yeah.
It's the secret of 30s actresses. They all wore suits that had wide leg trousers and blazers with a
With the
slight
shoulder
padding,
pads.
which gives you a perfect figure no matter what, you know?
Yeah.
And you always need a good pair of jeans.
Oh,
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. I never
definitely.
wear jeans, but everybody else does, so whatever.
One pair of
When
jeans.
when you go jean shop, you have to make sure those pockets are looking right on your butt.
Take a little mirror with you. Look behind into the mirror.
Because
in the
some people
dressing
have the
room.
jeans where the butt is here and the pockets down there. You be like, okay.
I hate jeans without back pockets. That's another thing.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people are told, don't do back pockets. They'll make your ass look big.
But that's
So
what
they
flaps. That's what the flap is.
Yeah, no
It-
one
it
wears
enhances.
jeans flaps anymore.
And I think when their pockets is separated a little too far over, it makes your butt look big.
This is why actresses get a custom-made jeans. So they look store-bought, but the pockets are just where they should
Perfectly,
be. The waist
exactly.
fits just the way it should. Everything fits just right. And anyway, we're out of time. My guests have been designer Jules.
Yes,
of
Jules
Eyes,
size, exactly.
and Darnell.
Of Darnell.
Yes. Vintage
Of On Air
clothing-
Talk Show.
Vintage clothing expert.
Yes.
How can people contact you for?
You can contact me at Jules Eyes at AOL.com. You also can contact me at Jules Eyes Fashion Instagram. You also can contact me at Jules Eyes Fashion Facebook also. And come to me and get your great fashion.
Yes.
Come shop with me anywhere, anytime. On Edge Talk Show, Darnell, Instagram, Insta Edge. I can take you to any retailer, actually.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Personal
if you-
shopper.
And if you love high-end vintage, Darnell is the person.
Come see
Yeah.
me.
Anyway, I'm Diana Montford. My guests have been Jules and Darnell, who have this wonderful talk show called
On Edge.